Yeah, thank you for having me here in Singapore. I did yesterday a masterclass with some of the people here already are present. Today I don't want to do too much theory about serious games. I just want to show you a project we did together with Daimler, Mercedes-Benz in Germany, which is a combination of a Facebook game and a serious game. Which helps people to understand about urban mobility. So it's a genre mix between serious games and classical Facebook gaming, and it's called Greenside City. The idea behind Greenside City was how to communicate with a young target group and how can we install something which is something between understanding of urban mobility and some kind of crowdsourcing of information while communicating with all the people playing the game. So I just want to give you a small brief about the company where I'm coming from, and it's called Zone2Connect. It was founded 10 years ago, and since 2006 we are doing serious games in Germany, and we have some clients you may know, I'll show you later, but the important thing is that we are doing working hard to create the serious games market also in Germany, so it was a pleasure for me to come here. Secondly, I am the political director of the German Gaming Association, and so it's also very good to get in contact with you guys in order to create something great worldwide concerning serious games. Zone2Connect itself is a development studio, but 50% of the things we are doing is consulting, because serious games creation is a very hard job in order to create something which really works concerning implementation of learning goals and to create something worth playing. So looking at teams, maybe this is something interesting for you, how we create teams to create serious games. There are three disciplines we use to create the game. First of all, we need experts of the topic we want to create a game for. So for example, if we create a game to explain urban mobility, we need we need experts who have a huge knowledge about urban mobility and who could do this better than a huge car manufacturing company like Daimler, Mercedes-Benz. So we created the project together in a cooperation with business innovation at Daimler Mercedes-Benz in Stuttgart. Secondly, we need experts, learning experts to create something which is more or less e-learning, but we add another competence to this, which is game designers. So it's a complexity of, it's a combination of learning experts and game designers in order to create concepts which really work. And the fourth competence, and many people forget about this, is communication. It does not make too much sense to create a serious game if you do not have any idea how to spread it, how to market it in the end. So communication is a very important issue also for serious games concerning corporations, for example. Also these games has to be marketed in some way. These are some, this is a sheet I brought to you just to inform you that serious games in Germany is evolving. We have lots of people doing serious games already, so the market is there, and I think Bayer, Adidas, Daimler, Lufthansa, Vodafone, a company you also know here in Asia. So the question, of course, is why a Facebook game to communicate new mobility concepts? That was a question we had in workshops together with Daimler, and they thought of to do something with games, but they did not know how exactly we could do that. So we thought of why games? Why could be games a good idea? And first of all, of course, games are part of the digital industry, part of the digital media, and here they are, the digital natives. Of course, young people, let's say born 30 years, 35 years ago, they are already socialized with digital media, and they are well known. They know the concepts of digital media, of knowledge transfer through digital media. So that's a good idea. And of course, they know games. That's a very important fact. But also, the so-called digital immigrants are catching up. We did a lot of projects for 50+ target group, and nowadays this is really the fastest growing group at Facebook, for example, also in mobile usage. And this is a perfect combination to see that there's really a huge market beginning from the 10 to 12 aged people up to 70 aged people. And this is, of course, interesting also for Daimler as a target group. But we want to get closer in the target group afterwards, which is 25 to 40 with the game. And also trends in media consumption is user interaction. People want to talk with each other. Social networks got a huge growth in the last years. So as a platform, social networks seems to be interesting also. So we keep that in mind, that digital media has a huge platform in the meantime in the society, combined with social network that the people want to talk to each other, want to find solutions, want to give each other a present, want to reward each other. That seems to be a good thing. And last point is games itself. These are some figures from the German games market. We have 80 million people in Germany and 31.5 million are playing regularly games. If you don't count the young child and the very old people, we have about 50% of the society playing games right now. If you think about games, most people think about, which are not that into games, that games is a man thing, that the male people are playing games. But in Germany, we have about 40% female gamers in the meantime and 60% male. And also, the average age of a gamer is nowadays 34 in Germany, not 25 or something, 34, which is in the middle of the society. So we have a mass media, and that's a development of the last years, that games now is mass media, and it is also in the center of the society, not something in the niche or something. So, and also the income structure is very, very, let's say, in the middle of everything. It's not. You cannot say the poor people play games or the rich people play games. Everybody seems to play games. Last week we had Gamescom in Germany, which is the world's biggest fair for computer entertainment, and we had 340,000 people in 4 days at the Cologne fair, which was a huge success. 25% more people went to Gamescom this year, and it was about 140,000 square meters of fairground, which was exhibition ground. So this is also a huge success, which shows that games are really in the middle of the society nowadays. So, and why games also are interesting is the motivational components inside games. What are games, and why are games a good idea to transport information? And the first thing of all, if you keep an eye on this, is playfulness. Because you can play with games, you can try out something. You have some kind of a virtual playground where you can trial and error. You're able to fail. You can create something which is yours. And this is a very special thing, and which helps us to have a high engagement and a high awareness in this moment. So playfulness is a very useful thing while playing games, of course. And secondly, it's challenge. If a game challenges you, you have a high level of awareness. And this helps you also if you have something to transport through a game and it addresses someone. A challenge is a very useful thing. So it's a mode of continuous motivation to perform because you do not want to lose. Quite simple. So if you accept the challenge, we have something really great. And you can play around. It's also great. And third thing is ambition, because nobody wants to lose in a competition. You have also something which is great. You do not want to lose also against the system. You do not want to lose. It's not only between two components, but the other component could also be the system. So you do not want to lose. That's the third component. And self-actualization, of course. And this is which we took for Greenside City in mind. People want to express themselves. They want to get acceptance from others and the respect of others. And so we put that all together in some kind of a tart. And if you're able to address all these four factors, you can create something which is called immersion. There's nothing new for this conference and for serious games experts, I guess. And immersion means you accept an active role inside the game. That's very important. So if you have a racing game, you're the racing driver, and at Greenside City you build a city. You are the mayor of the city. You are able to decide on which place there is a road, on which side is a casino or whatever. So the game, as you play it, is your expression of yourself, and if you accept the challenge to create the beautiful city, it's a great thing to put something else in. And what we put in is urban mobility concepts into the city design. That's what we did. So maybe you ask yourself why Daimler is interesting to do something like this. Daimler, of course, is a car manufacturer. But of course, as every huge company, they have to look left and right. What could be a new business for us? Well, how can we combine other technologies with games, with cars? And so they have something really fantastic, which is called My Taxi. It was in Germany. I think in other countries there will be also My Taxi. In the meantime, My Taxi is a subsidiary of Daimler. It's an app where you can call a taxi via app. That's simple. Cars and apps make sense in this case because the more My Taxi is used, the more an intelligent mobility concept is also used. And of course, also car manufacturers know that the big metropolitans will have traffic problems, and they are open to that. They have to discuss this from how they can solve this. And one solution for that is Car2Go. Car2Go is a car sharing model we have in Germany and also in different European countries. I don't know if they are already in Asia. But Car2Go is also quite a huge success. You only need a card, and you can use lots of cars. I think in Berlin, about 3,000 cars are around the ground, and you can use every car with this card. But also they think about games. It's called Play Together, and they say, okay, games have a lot of positive aspects like mobility, research, playfulness. They want to play. They want to play. Let the people play games in order to find out something, in order to learn from these people. So, beside a lot of other innovation projects, games is a topic which Daimler has on focus. And secondly, we want to address a younger target group. Daimler's average customer is 48 to 50, and that's a problem for a car manufacturing company. So they want to get younger, and if you know the new A-Class, you see that how the new products of Daimler will be. They want to get younger. Smart is it also a division of Daimler. And how to get this group? This is this is a target group Daimler wants to address, and they should be interested in innovation. They want to have an urban lifestyle. They should be, and this is related to the age, digital natives. They could be 24 to 40, and lots of them are gamers. So it's close to it's very easy to understand that games could be an option to get these people in contact. Facebook, on the other hand, has about 1 billion members. The average age is 29, and 50% are gamers. So what we can do is we can create something which is a communication channel. It is also entertainment. We want the people to play together, and it's a cross-communication channel because I can also put messages about new products into the game. And what we created is this. I'll show you a small movie. It's the result of lots of discussions. And this should give you some impression if it works. Okay. So what you see here is some kind of city building game. Beginning from sketches we created in the beginning of the creation process. You have a ground which is free of anything. And it's a car sharing place, for example. Electro buses are included in the city. So you create a huge cityscape, and it works a little bit like Cityville, other games, but you have to keep in mind that the city also is not only beautiful, but it works also from the view of mobility. Because if you do not keep this in mind, there will be traffic jams and other things, and the people are not satisfied being in the city. So they will leave, and the city will lose attractiveness. So, just a first impression about the game. Looking at it, you will find 4 different things. And this is, first of all, it's a city building game. But on the other hand, we can present technology inside the game. We can also explain about mobility concepts. Also, how limited they maybe are. For example, an e-bike also only can transport up to 2 persons. It's not a solution for every case. And also, it's something about sustainability, that it is important to take a look at environment and stuff like this. So we have 4 factors. A normal game normally starts with this, and it has not too much more than this. It's just a city building game, but we added technology. There's some kind of innovation also. You have to research, and researching will bring you other mobility concepts. Some are also not developed yet. It looks a little bit into the future also, but yes, so that's what we do there. And yeah, inside the building, inside the game, you may ask yourself, where is Daimler? Daimler is not present in the game really that much, but you find a Mercedes-Benz football stadium, you find the Mercedes-Benz museum in Stuttgart, you find a Smart, but no branding of the company at all. That's part of the plan, and the next step will be from the beginning, from the 1st of October, that Daimler will also not be the publisher of the game. That changed because they wanted to be in a second row. They have enough to do with transporting the mobility concepts. They don't have to be in the first row. So this will also change more than it right now, the status is. And the researching thing is something very interesting, because the research campus is this building. You have to build it in the city. We'll find out about different kinds of mobility concepts, and it is something like business innovation itself. So the business innovation department of Daimler is represented in the game with this building, and the mobility concept they are developing are more or less the concepts Daimler has on focus for the future for their company. The mobility concepts itself are represented by these small buildings, and these small buildings are part of the game. And every building has some kind of a range. For example, this electromobility parking place has a range of this, so you can access this region. If you want to go further, you have for example, have to install electricity stations, like petrol station, for electromobility. So you have to set up a network of small stations and bigger stations in order to capture the whole city, in order to access it with the new mobility concepts inside the game. The game itself, you're free to work with about 80 buildings, different buildings, and these buildings have different states, so you can level up like in a normal game. The quality of the city is calculated by the percentage of green areals. Every building has some kind of a malus or a negative aspect of pollution, and so you have to compensate. If you build a huge stadium, you have to compensate it with green areals inside the game. So you have to keep all the time in mind also to do something for the environment. And the gaming method behind is a classical social game, like Cityville and others. You have to collect money for different kinds of buildings which can generate money, like a museum, for example, or a restaurant. And you have to put tourists inside the city, so you need also airports, railroad stations, things like this, bus stations, streets, highways and stuff. So there's a balance between tourists. The tourists have to sleep somewhere, so you need hotels. And otherwise, these people in the city, these tourists, have to go somewhere. So they must have to be attracted at somewhere. So you have, for example, museums, football stadiums, different things like here a theme park and stuff like this. So it's a balance between all these aspects. Yeah, and how this works in the video, that's the last thing I want to show you, is this. It could be very loud. So that's Greenside City. Do you have any questions about this case study?
Yes. Sorry.
It's Facebook. It's a Flash game. HTML5 was too ambitious for the complexity of the gameplay with this isometric graphical design, but it's a Facebook game. You can play it with your PC. It is released 2 years ago already. Yeah, it will. Excuse me? We have a 6-digit number of users, and we have to move somewhere else. We are finalizing this right now because Daimler said, okay, we have learned enough about this. We want to keep in touch with you guys, but it's great to have this game, and it will move somewhere. We also exported it out of Facebook in the meantime. It will be accessible via the browser. Yeah. Daimler has a problem that lots of people do not understand too much about urban mobility, or they do not care. It's an awareness thing. They want to tell the people, hey people, it's not only good to move into cities. We have worldwide a trend that people want to move to cities, but the complexity behind concerning mobility is not in mind everywhere. And they want to keep this in mind also, and they want to communicate. We have hundreds and thousands of posts in this community about the game itself.
What is the response of the game?
Regarding in which direction? Oh, we have lots of people playing for a month, and we won some awards with it. It's okay.
What's the feedback? I mean, do you have a forum where the people actually...
Yeah, we have a forum and the people are discussing with us. Also the versions, it's the third version online right now, and the third version is a result of the discussion with the people. The second version also.
Any more questions?
Could you tell me the developing team, how many developing teams and how many days spent did you develop this game?
Days spent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 months, 3 months to develop this game.
It's about a team of 6 to 8 people developing for 2 years. And yeah, that's the size you have to think of.
Any last 2 questions before we hear the bell again? Okay, if there is, sorry, yes.
So
Please.
what does Daimler actually learn about this from the users, from the players playing the game? So
What does Daimler learn from this, from the users who've played the game?
They learned that it's very important to listen, and that they found a lot of feedback which they did not keep in mind. What Daimler also does in parallel is they use bar camps, for example, to discuss with the community. It's one instrument between others.